Thank you everyone for joining me. This is Marilyn Gale. Listen guys, I'm going to do a quick recap of the McGees just to let you see how the children were affected in all this. And they're old enough to see what's going on and to have feelings about who's in their home. Okay, so Paige decided to invite Amanda back for the weekend. This is supposed to be a bonding trip. Bernie is going to be basically working, so Paige explains to Amanda that it's going to be just the two of them. And Amanda said that's okay. So she's going about her daily chores, Paige is, and she's in her room and she's folding towels. Amanda asked, is there a certain way that she does things, especially like folding towels? And so Paige said, yeah, I do have my way of doing things. So Amanda said, well, if I'm doing something wrong, would you tell me? And Paige said, well, probably not, So she said, well, you would let it build up, the frustration. Would you let everything build up, the tension? And basically, Paige says, yes, she wouldn't tell her. I guess she didn't want to hurt her feelings. So Paige basically told her she would go behind her and whatever she did wrong, she would, do it the right way, which Amanda kind of didn't, she kind of looked at her a little strangely. The conversations were back and forth, the boys are, just doing their thing. Basically, the scenes included the two women. They got into a discussion. I won't go into that lengthy discussion, but basically Paige hollered at her, like scolded. It sounded like a scold to Brandy, and Brandy got upset and went to the room and stayed in her room basically. So Bernie gets home and Brandy is packing and she's gonna leave early. So Bernie talks to Paige, you think you two should talk about it, and iron this out, and, maybe it just needs to be a conversation. So the three of them have that conversation, and basically Paige is, well, I did one thing wrong and now she wants to go home. She's making it like, she had no role in hurting Brandy's feeling, like you're gonna get mad because I did one thing wrong. And Brandy is not budging. She's not apologizing because she doesn't think she did anything wrong, and in this case I don't think she did either. So Paige kind of gets mad, upset, and storms out of the room because she doesn't understand, because she did that one thing wrong, that now she's ready to go home, whatever. And so she storms out of the room. So anyway, the next morning comes. I want to fast forward this. The next morning comes. Brandy is ready to go, and Bernie is putting her luggage in the car, and the boys come out to say goodbye. Now, mind you, the boys does not know that in Brandy's mind it's done. She's had enough. She doesn't see how any of this will work. She doesn't see how Paige can fix this. She says she has worked hard to the attitude that she has now, instead of, like telling her off and making a scene, she just didn't feel like, she wanted to go back to that place where it would be an altercation, paraphrasing. And so the boys are hugging her and goodbye, and they seem to have built somewhat of the boys seem to really like her. The oldest son was saying in confessional that this was going to be, he was looking forward like for Brandy to be like another mother figure. So Brandy stole their little hearts, and so they say their goodbyes. And so anyway, Brandy leaves. So Bernie is talking to Paige. I'm sorry, yeah, Bernie is talking to Paige, and he's, she's going on over the same things. I did this one bad thing, and she didn't even stop in to say goodbye, because he asked her when she was pulling out of the driveway, when Brandy was pulling out of the driveway, you want to say goodbye to Brandy? Well, she don't want to say goodbye to me, and she's just going to leave without saying goodbye. So that was that. She just marched back into the house. So Bernie is basically saying, we have to tell the boys. So they sit the boys down and they tell her, I know you said goodbye to Brandy, and, but Brandy is not that Brandy is leaving and she'll be back. Brandy will not be back. We won't be seeing Brandy anymore. Now, mind you, these boys have been calling and texting, and I think FaceTiming even Brandy and his daughter, and building a bond out. They didn't see him but the one time, but I think they kind of talked to him every day. So the boys were getting very close to Brandy and her daughter. Well, when Bernie tells the boys they won't be back at all, and the oldest boy says, well, what happened? And Bernie tells them, there was a disagreement, and so Brandy decided, to go home. And he lets it be very plain, Bernie lets it be very plain that Brandy will not be back. Well, the oldest boy, you can tell in his eyes, he just had a blank look, and he's not happy at all. And the little one, I think he's 9 years old, the little one just burst out crying. And, buries his head in his mom's chest, and she hugs him. And in the confessional, she says she's feeling bad because she's hurt her family. Well, she admitted to Bernie that this is not normal. She didn't want any of this. And then she goes back and she wants to build a bond. And then she's back and forth with this. It is tiresome. Even in confessional, after everything is done, she says in confessional, well, maybe next time, or is it to Bernie? But anyway, next time, we'll take it slow, or, next time. Oh, Bernie is still saying, that he would like to pursue this lifestyle, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know after this. He don't know if he could, if it's wise to do that again. Well, at the very end, they all hug each other, and Bernie says, well, we got each other, and they do a group hug. So this is what happens. Those boys are old enough to have feelings, to build bonds. Even little kids build bonds, but they don't know how to process it, and who knows what on the inside, what damage is doing. But the boys are able to verbalize at least, but still, are you going to keep bringing women into that house and hurting those boys' feelings? Because even Paige admits, next time she wouldn't have them meet the boys yet. It would be a while before they meet the boys. Next, she's still saying next time, when she knows she is not built for this lifestyle. And that's okay, but don't keep jerking the kids around. Forget Bernie, because, I believe Bernie's going to have him a good time on the side, whether, and that's my opinion, whether Paige agrees to it or not. He's gotten used to the idea of having somebody else. So in my opinion, if he meets someone interesting, if Paige does not agree, he's going to do what he needs to do and just keep it under wraps. That's my opinion. So anyway, guys, that's what I meant in the other video about bringing your children into a situation like this, and even a situation you're not sure of. Talking about Paige, even a situation you are not sure of, and then you're going to bring your boys into it, and then the heartache they feel. I'm telling you guys, it was heartbreaking the way that little guy just bust out crying, knowing he would not see Brandy and her daughter again. So guys, that's what I have. I'm going to make a back-to-back video, maybe wait just a little bit and give you some information I just found out about the Snowdens. So anyway, wait for that one, guys. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. Click that notification bell because you don't want to miss any videos to come. Thank you for joining me, and everyone have a good evening.